Welcome to Dr.MaryOz's Radical Change Now radio program. Today you will learn how to combine healing and the law of attraction to better your own life in mere weeks. Join us on our journey, which starts right now. Here's your host, Dr. Mary Oz.
Well, hello everybody. Welcome to our third show here at the Radical Change Now show at Voice America on the Empowerment Channel. And today we got a very special show planned for you. It's called Resolving Money and Love Obstacles with Ho'oponopono Healing. So this week's Radical Change Now show is going to focus on how you can apply the healing power of Ho'oponopono to all areas of your life. I have a special guest today, Suzanne. She's going to join us at the end of the show today. And we're going to discuss everything you need to know about Ho'oponopono and our unique tapping system. As I've been sharing with you the last few weeks, Ho'oponopono is powerful, easy, and it's effective, so you'll want to apply it into as many areas in your life as possible. Any kind of areas where you want change, healing, and results. This week's show is specifically about how you can combine the 30-day Ho'oponopono challenge that I've been asking you guys to take since week 1, how you can combine it with a simple tapping strategy as you release your negative thoughts, doubts, beliefs, and stubborn memories. We will be specifically focusing on Ho'oponopono and resolving obstacles regarding money and love. Come and listen to how 8 women have attracted over $900,000, that's almost $1 million, in less than 2.5 years by using Ho'oponopono and our tapping strategies. 2 weeks ago, I gave you the 30-day Ho'oponopono challenge, and today I want to focus on a powerful, positive, unexpected twist that I received from teaching our Radical Change coaching program. So after I had taught the course several times, I started to notice 2 things. Most of the group members were getting really quick and amazing results, and they were getting bigger changes than they actually asked for. So today, I want to focus specifically on how our Get Radical Change coaching program helped these women collectively attract that $900,000. So let me tell you the first story. There was a woman in the group, her name is Adele. She gave me permission to share her story today, and she wanted to see her son-in-law get a new job. And both her daughter and her son are pro golfers, and her son-in-law was interested in getting a job at a golf course in a nice high position. The problem was it was the middle of the winter, and people that know things about golf and getting a pro golf position, they often don't hire midwinter. It's not the time when they do their hiring. So she used our 3-step Ho'oponopono action plan, which involves taking the 30-day Ho'oponopono challenge and tapping. And she used her tapping and her card, and she put an intention in for her son. And within a matter of a couple of weeks, she found her son was on an interview, out of season. He often happened to be pretty young for applying for the type of position that he was looking for. And it had some excellent perks. So it was like, you can have the pro position, plus we have another piece that we want you to handle, which is just going to be more income for you. And after applying the Ho'oponopono and the tapping technique, he, of course, got the position, even though he was young and even though it was out of season, and he got an income that he was really happy to receive. So the second story I want to share with you about is a woman named Chrissy. And actually, Chrissy is going to join us next week. She's going to be one of our guests. And she was like, we all have moments sometimes. Typical day, something got her frustrated and she was in a bad place. And she was feeling very tired and frustrated of tracking down her ex for her monthly child support check. So in her moments of anger and frustration, she lost her cool, and she did what we all do sometimes. She sent a text. And then after she sent the text, she thought, I probably shouldn't have done that. And then as she was thinking about things, she realized, well, this is what I learned in class, right? This is what I learned in the Radical Change class. I should use Ho'oponopono whenever I'm specifically feeling upset. So it was late at night, and she decided she would Ho'oponopono, I love you, I thank you, please forgive me, I'm sorry. And she would use the tapping strategy. So she tapped, she went to bed. She happens to be a school teacher. So it was around 11 o'clock at night. She tapped, she went to bed, she let everything go. She wakes up in the morning like 6:30. She's heading out, and she sees an envelope in her mailbox. And she's thinking, what is that? So she goes over to the mailbox, she takes out the envelope. And what I love about this story is that Chrissy took the advice from the class, she Ho'oponopono'd, she tapped, and she combined it with the law of attraction. And there was this white envelope. She opened it up, and inside the envelope was 10 future child support checks for her. So the very thing she put out there, I don't want to have to chase my ex-husband for this check, ended up being in her mailbox the very next morning. And I want to share one more story with you. We have a woman who's in our present coaching group that's going on right now. And about 6 years ago, her and her husband experienced something that was unfair and not, I guess we would say unjustified. And they talked, and they decided that they were going to take out a lawsuit. So they sought out a lawyer, and they met with the lawyer, and the lawyer explained to them, listen, you can take out the lawsuit, but I'm going to be honest with you. This type of lawsuit, only 1% of people ever win. And he kind of was discouraging them from taking out the lawsuit at all. But they felt that they had been wronged, so they pushed through, they took out the lawsuit. 5 or 6 years later, nothing happened. So fast forward 5 or 6 years later, she's taken the Radical Change coaching course. And the first 6 weeks of the course, she's Ho'oponoponoing, she's tapping, but she hadn't decided at that point to tap for the lawsuit. So based on some stories, one of the reasons we like to share so many stories is because it gives people ideas about how you can use Ho'oponopono in all different areas of your life. So about 6 weeks into the program, she decides she's going to take some of the paperwork that's related to the case, and she's going to tap on it, and she's also going to tap on a card, which is part of our tapping technique. And lo and behold, 2 weeks later, she comes to the next class. We had a week off, and she's busting. She can't wait to share that she actually received a letter that she won the lawsuit. So she fell into the 1% of people that win this type of lawsuit. After 6 years of nothing, she gets a letter that they actually won the lawsuit. So these are amazing stories. It kind of makes you wonder, what is Ho'oponopono doing? Like, why is Ho'oponopono and tapping ending up with these amazing results? And I just want to talk to you about that for a second. So my belief is that when we say I love you, we're focusing on love. When we say I thank you, we're focusing on gratitude. When we say please forgive me, we're focusing on reconciliation and taking responsibility. And when we say I'm sorry, we're also talking about responsibility and reconciliation. And things like love, forgiveness, and gratefulness are very high vibrations. So when we say Ho'oponopono prayer or Ho'oponopono statements consistently and constantly, we're really focusing on pure positive energy. And we're allowing our requests and our needs to connect with God. So, I think of God as the creator. He's the creator, we're just the created. And it's kind of like a prayer saying, I don't know what to do with all this stuff, so I'm going to release it to you, and you set it straight. So it's pure positive energy, it's connection with God, and it's a surrendering at the same time. Now, our tapping technique, I also believe helps because, movement is energy. So when we teach you our specific, unique tapping, you're actually creating movement, and extra energy. And people report there's something about the tapping technique that we use that often makes them just relax and feel better. So all three of these stories, they're showing you amazing results from Ho'oponopono and tapping, but there are some other highlights I wanted to share with you. We had a woman in the group because sometimes people have a lot of doubt about Ho'oponopono. And I love that, 2 weeks into the group, she said, Mary, she said, Dr. Mary, I don't know about this. Seems a little hokey to me, and you're not really a hokey person, and I'm surprised I came here and this is what you're teaching. But she said, I trust you. So she said, just because it's you teaching this, I'm trying to sell my house, and I want to get as much money from my house sale as possible. So she said, I am going to go home and create a card, and I am going to use your tapping technique. And sure enough, a week, 2-3 weeks later, she comes back and her house sold for top dollar. Now, the funny thing was she shared with me, she said, my husband thought this was crazy, but we have his attention. Now that I tap, now that I'm doing Ho'oponopono, now that we got a great price for the house, he wants us to see if we could get the house we're buying for that price to go lower. So I suggested to her she should do the same thing. She created a card, she tapped on it, and I think it was about 6 weeks later, she comes back and she reported that it was a win-win. She actually was able to sell her house high, and the sellers for the house she was buying actually lowered their price. And I don't remember, it was like $8,000, $10,000 or $12,000, but I think it was at least an $8,000 difference for them. And I don't remember if it's one end or both end of the houses. But, very powerful. Another powerful story with a really cool, positive, unexpected twist. So I've mentioned to you guys that we have raises that are incremental. I want to tell you about another young woman. She was in our coaching program, and one of the things we have is called a joyous income worksheet. So when you're in the program for like a couple of months, we start to teach you how to combine law of attraction and Ho'oponopono. And we have this particular sheet, and on the sheet, I help everyone stretch their mind, right, to whatever you're making now, what would be a joyous income for you? So she wanted a $75,000 raise. Took her about 8 or 9 months, but 9 months later, she found herself interviewing for a position that was almost a full $75,000 raise. So today we have limited time, but I do want to tell you what these women are doing. And I've always promised to share with you where you can get the same information, support, and help that they're receiving. So I want you to know they all took the 30-day challenge. They all noticed their positive, unexpected twist. And they all applied our unique tapping strategy while Ho'oponoponoing, which is taught in our coaching program. We also have some love stories, like husbands being kinder. So a lot of times in the groups, wives talk about, for years I've been trying to get my husband to be more present or just be kinder or nicer or want to spend more time together. And after women clean about their emotions about their husband, they find that their husbands are kinder and more attentive. After years of nothing changing, there's a shift in the relationship. Old friends and lovers reunite. Family relationships improve. This is amazing. People report feeling that love is now possible for them for the first time in their life. They experience healthy love, healthy self-love, and sometimes that's also for the first time in their life. So on our show so far today, or in the last few weeks, I've been talking to you about modern day basic Ho'oponopono. Today, in our next segment, I'm going to teach you what we call modern day advanced Ho'oponopono. So we're going to take a quick break, but be sure to join us when we come back, as I'll be teaching you how to apply what we call advanced Ho'oponopono, so you can break through your money blocks and your love blocks.
Become our friend on Facebook. Post your thoughts about our shows and network on our timeline. Visit facebook.com/Voice America.
Dr. MaryOz's Radical Change Coaching Program will help you set a healing foundation in your life and teach you how to manifest more of what you want. Are you ready to get the results and radical change you have been longing for too long? Very often our clients tell us that this is the most powerful coaching they have ever received. Come join us and start living life with more results, more love, more wealth, health, and peace, as well as inspiration. For more information, call Coach Sam at 1-833-447-CHANGE. Need help deciding if our Radical Change Coaching Program is right for you? Apply for a free strategy session with one of our coaches. Be prepared to dive deep and identify the areas in life in which you need healing and transformation. Together, we will clarify how to close the gap from where you are to where you want to be and discover what's possible now. How would it feel to get big changes in less than 30 days for you, your loved ones, and your business? Apply now by calling Coach Sam at 1-833-447-CHANGE or visit us at radicalchangenow.com.
Tune in to the Voice America Variety channel on the Voice America Talk Radio Network. Voice America Variety broadcasts a diverse array of topics, reaching a global community. Our experts come from all walks of life, and the topics they discuss are everything from current events, arts and entertainment, leadership, parenting, relationships, self-improvement, career advice, and a variety of other topics. Check us out today. You're sure to find something of interest. Voice America Variety. Talk on today's hot topics.
Become a member of VoiceAmerica.com. It's easy, and best of all, it's free. Start out by going to our homepage or any of our channels and click register at the top. Once you've created an account and signed in, you can create your own custom library, opt into our newsletter, search by show, host, guest, or topic of interest, or browse millions of hours of content across all of our Voice America radio channels. Membership gets you more. Visit VoiceAmerica.com today to get started and tailor the listening experience to your taste.
If you think you've seen online TV before, let us surprise you.
VoiceAmerica.tv is online now.
The leader in live internet talk radio has done it again. Multiple channels, a state-of-the-art viewing experience, live and on-demand programs streaming 24 hours a day. It's exactly what you want, when you want it.
VoiceAmerica.tv.
From health and wellness to business, sports, and everything in between. Discover our new world. Visit VoiceAmerica.tv now and experience the future of online television.
VoiceAmerica.tv.
You are listening to Radical Change Now with Dr. Mary Oz. If you'd like to participate in our discussion today, the phone lines are open. Reach us at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. Let's get back to Radical Change Now. Here again is Dr. Mary Oz.
So we're back, and we're talking about Ho'oponopono. And when we simply say, I love you, I thank you, please forgive me, I am sorry, we are Ho'oponopono. And hopefully our listeners have started the 30-day challenge. And if you miss a day in your 30 days, you're starting over. And you want to be allowing the 4 statements to become automatic. So now I'd like you to grab some pen and paper so I can teach you what we call advanced Ho'oponopono. And let me tell you when you want to use advanced Ho'oponopono. So whenever you have a specific request, a need, or an intention, you want to think of the advanced model for Ho'oponopono. So let's say, your son or your child or someone you care about has an ulcer or is in pain, and you want to do everything you can for that person. That's when you want to think advanced Ho'oponopono. So here's what I want you to write down. I love you for, right, F-O-R, and then let's create a blank, right? So you have I love you for, and then a blank. I thank you for, and then another blank. So it's the same, I love you, I thank you, please forgive me, I'm sorry, blank. And you put a blank next to each of these sentences. So that's our basic formula for advanced Ho'oponopono. So let me give you an example. Let's say you want more money in your life. You want more money to flow. So if I were to think advanced Ho'oponopono and I'm thinking about my money flow and I want it to improve, these are 4 sentences that I might say. So the sentences need to resonate what's true for you. So I might say, I love you money that I now have plenty to pay my bills. I thank you for all that I purchased. Please forgive me for feeling lack at times, and I'm sorry for worrying so much at times about my bills, right? So you just want to create 4 sentences that are truthful and real for you. And now I would be doing the advanced Ho'oponopono about money. So I'm going to repeat that again in case you want to write it down. I love you money that I now have enough to pay my bills. I thank you for all that I have purchased. Please forgive me for feeling lack so intensely at times. And I'm sorry for worrying so much about my bills. Now let's say you also want to have advanced Ho'oponopono help you with love. You might say, I love you. Now, these are my words. So my example is my words. We're going to have some time today that you're going to put down your exact words. So I would say, I love you, God, for the gift of life and love. I thank you for my family, friends, loved ones, and for myself. Please forgive me for not being loving at times. And I'm sorry for any love blocks that I'm holding on to. And then if I actually want to go a little deeper, I might say, I'm sorry for any love blocks I'm holding on to unnecessarily protect myself. So a lot of times we have money blocks and love blocks that are connected to our feelings and our thoughts. So we want to use the advanced Ho'oponopono prayer to release those negative patterns, negative beliefs, and negative energies. So let me read that to you one more time, because I know sometimes people like to have an example when they're figuring out their own. So I love you, God, for the gift of life and love. I thank you for my family, friends, loved ones, and for myself. Please forgive me for not being loving at times. And I'm sorry for any love blocks I'm holding on to. So now let's have you give it a shot. I want you to go write down the advanced Ho'oponopono with the blanks, right? So let's say you wanted more money to flow into your life. What would you put after I love you money for, or I love you money that? Either one is fine. But I love you money for, fill in the blank. Something that's real for you. I thank you money for, fill in the blank. Please forgive me money for, and I'm sorry money for. Now, don't forget, whenever you Ho'oponopono or do advanced Ho'oponopono, you're not really going to use my order. You might be saying, I'm sorry for, please forgive me for, I thank you for, I love you for. Always make sure the order is what works for you. So I want to remind you guys that Ho'oponopono helps us clean, clear, and erase whatever's not working for us, whatever's not right within us. And often in our coaching programs, they're really powerful because we stretch your mind, right? First of all, we teach you how to, level 1, year 1, we really teach you how to have thoughts of pure positive energy. We teach you how to hold yourself accountable to have more positive thoughts than anything else. Level 2, we teach you how to choose what predominant feelings do you want to live with. And each of these are challenges in their own. But you want to remember that Ho'oponopono can help you clean on your thoughts and your emotions. So in the program, we actually dive deep about money. So some of the things we go over are, what's your predominant beliefs about money, right? Sometimes we have beliefs about money and we don't even pay attention to it, right? So what are your predominant beliefs about money? What are your money patterns from childhood? Now, as I go through these questions, I want you to write the questions down, but I also want you to think about what the answers are. So do you have some money patterns from childhood? Very often we have this silly loyalty to whatever my parents' income was. Maybe I don't feel comfortable going over that. So we all have patterns and predominant beliefs about money that need to be cleaned on. We also have money doubts and money fears. And no matter how much work we do on releasing patterns and beliefs, if we don't help you release your doubts and your fears, the money flow doesn't change. So those are 3-4 different things that we go over. But then we always take you deeper in the coaching program. So a lot of people are surprised to hear about this. We also have a relationship to money. So what's your relationship to money? Like, how do you treat money? What do you think about money? But how do you actually also relate to money, right? So what's your relationship to money? And what's your expectations about money? So if you have an expectation of lack and like you can't pay your bills or you're never going to have enough or everyone else has enough but you don't, that's going to affect the money flow in your life. So we look at all those things and we say, what would you like Ho'oponopono and our tapping strategy to help you with? Now, here's a little hint. In our coaching program, we also always teach you how important it is to know what you want, right? So when it comes to money, earning money, saving money, investing money, making money, whatever the topic is, you have to know what you want. And in addition to knowing what you want, you also really want to know why you want what you want. And the reason that's important is because our emotions of what we want and why we want it actually becomes the emotional fuel that keeps us on track to reach our goals. So what do you want? Why do you want it? And then our third question is we help you identify throughout all of our different levels of class, how do you predominantly want to feel? Well, usually everybody wants to feel better. People want to feel happy. People want to feel great. People want to feel passion. People want to feel inspired. But how do you predominantly want to feel more than not? And those are all things that we go over. We also help you combine Ho'oponopono healing with the law of attraction. And right now, I actually want you to think about, in your life, I want you to write this down actually. In your life, when it comes to money, like on the left side of the piece of paper, write, this is where I am. And then on the right side of the paper, write, this is where you want to be. So when it comes to money, this is where I am. And jot down something about where you're at, something specific. And on the other end, I want you to write down, where do you want to be, right? Maybe I'm making $150,000. Maybe I want to make $1 million. Maybe I only have $10,000 saved. I want to have $100,000 saved. Maybe I work part-time and I actually want to work full-time but make more money. So put down where you are and where you want to be. First for money, and then I want you to do the same thing for love. So now, also I want you to know that the same questions that I asked you about when it comes to money, we would ask ourselves about love, right? So what predominant beliefs about love? And I'm going to walk you through these real quick because for a lot of people, this becomes really powerful just even asking you these questions. What predominant beliefs about love do you have? For some of us, have we been without love for too long? Are we afraid of commitment? Are we afraid of or fearful of intimacy? What are your love patterns from childhood? Do you know what your love doubts and your fears are? So, same set of questions. What's your relationship to love? It sounds kind of silly, but we do have a relationship to love. So, what's your relationship to love? What's your relationship to be in loving? It's actually different, right? You have to actually have a relationship to love, just love in general, just like money in general. But then you have this other whole relationship to being loved, right? What's your relationship to being loved? What's your relationship to being loving? So let me be that little clear with that. What's your relationship to love is one thing. What's your relationship to being loved? And what's your relationship to being loving? 3 different things. And then our final question is, what's your relationship to being lovable? So for most people, those questions evoke different things inside of them. So what we want you to know, if any of this information is striking a nerve in you or making you feel hopeful, we want you to come check out our Radical Change coaching program. And there's 2 places you could do that. There's actually a few places, but you can go to radicalchangenow.com and there's a little tab for programs and products. And there's more information on our Radical Change coaching program there. You can go to the Voice America host page. Just look up Radical Change Now program. And there's actually a banner that will take you to our coaching program. We've made it easy for you. You can also call Sam, Coach Sam, at 1-833-447-CHANGE. She's there to answer all of your questions. And if you're not sure that you're ready for this coaching program, we even have our free Ho'oponopono strategy sessions. So those are all options that you have. So I wanted to just note with you guys that I know that I shared a lot of information, and hopefully we rattled some good questions inside of you. And I often share a lot of powerful stories. So I know for me, every time my clients experience radical change quickly, easily, and painlessly, I just want to get the message out there whenever possible. So I'm really thrilled that our next guest, Suzanne, she said yes to my invitation to come to the show today here on the Empowerment Channel at Voice America. And she's a lot of fun. I think we're going to make you laugh together, and we're just going to have a nice conversation that's going to flow about how she also has gotten radical change from Ho'oponoponoing. So I think you'll see with Suzanne that she came to meet with me one-on-one, and she actually hasn't taken the Radical Change coaching program, but she was so ready for healing and transformation that she kind of elicited all this information from me, and she's got an amazing story to share with us. So we're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, Suzanne's going to join us, and she's going to share with us what her positive, unexpected twist was.
Dr. Mary Oz's Radical Change coaching program will help you set a healing foundation in your life and teach you how to manifest more of what you want. Are you ready to get the results and radical change you have been longing for too long? Very often our clients tell us that this is the most powerful coaching they have ever received. Come join us and start living life with more results, more love, more wealth, health, and peace, as well as inspiration. For more information, call Coach Sam at 1-833-447-CHANGE. Need help deciding if our Radical Change coaching program is right for you? Apply for a free strategy session with one of our coaches. Be prepared to dive deep and identify the areas in life in which you need healing and transformation. Together, we will clarify how to close the gap from where you are to where you want to be and discover what's possible now. How would it feel to get big changes in less than 30 days for you, your loved ones, and your business? Apply now by calling Coach Sam at 1-833-447-CHANGE or visit us at radicalchangenow.com.
Should there be more to your life? Do you need a change? Transformation for Success with Dr. Barbara Young will provide empowering commentary each week to encourage you. She will interview successful personalities from movies, television, business, technology, health, and academia. All of them have amazing stories resulting in transformed lives. You'll learn how to discover real happiness, financial success, and fulfillment to live your highest purpose. Join her on Tuesdays at 12 noon Pacific Time and 3 p.m. Eastern on the Voice America Empowerment Channel, and a replay Fridays at 12 noon Pacific on the Voice America Women's Channel.
Have you friended us on Facebook yet? Why not? Just go to facebook.com/Voice America or search for the keywords Voice America. Once you are part of our Facebook network, you'll receive daily messages about what's happening with our shows, this week's featured guests, and new happenings of the Voice America Talk Radio Network. And you can add your voice to the always active discussions on our wall. Just go to facebook.com/Voice America or search for Voice America.
Now you don't have to stay linked to your desktop or laptop. Take Voice America on the go and listen anywhere. Get our mobile app for iPhone, BlackBerry, or Android at the Apple iTunes App Store, BlackBerry App World, or Android Market.
You are listening to Radical Change Now with Dr. Mary Oz. If you'd like to participate in our discussion today, the phone lines are open. Reach us at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. Let's get back to Radical Change Now. Here again is Dr. Mary Oz.
So welcome, Suzanne. Welcome to Radical Change Now.
Hi.
Thank you. Hi, how are you? I wanted to thank you for saying yes to the opportunity to come on our call today. And I just wanted to let you know I love working with you. I mean, you have great energy. You're a lot of fun. And recently, I think you're like a student, a client that I've worked with, that you have had the most amazing questions in our sessions in a short time that I'm really amazed. So I know recently we had the chance to work together. And I love how eager you've been to learn and change. I'm super excited for you. I'm proud of you. I'm inspired by your willingness to be so open and absorbing. You're actually like a sponge. It's like I teach, you take, you apply, and then we celebrate together. So I love how every time we meet, you ask for more and more. So would you be willing to share with us what was going on for you in life before you came to meet with me on our first session?
Sure. I really just came, originally, I was experiencing tremendous anxiety. It was actually paralyzing. I was at my all-time low, physically and emotionally. I was a mess. I was so limited with the anxiety. It was difficult at times to go food shopping. I have 3 children with tremendous appetite that, you really need to get out and go. I was at the point I couldn't even take my younger son for Slurpee. It was just getting gas was challenging, and I felt really terrible most of the time.
Okay.
So, it was just to come to you and, see what we can do. So.
About the anxiety.
The anxiety was my initial. It was just the time to see what could happen. I just was on automatic, not feeling great at all.
Right. If you don't mind me sharing, I remember I think it was our first 3 sessions that you would actually share. It's amazing that I even got here, right? Even get into my office, right? So if getting milk is difficult, getting Slurpees is difficult, you really had to push through to even get yourself the help initially.
Absolutely, absolutely. Just getting to you was at a very difficult day, and I had to push myself because it was just time.
But you did. You kept pushing through, right?
Yeah, exactly. It was difficult, though.
So I know you often say our first session was really powerful for you. If you go back to our first session, what do you think was most powerful and what made you feel most hopeful?
Well, you taught me this coping triangle and how to Ho'oponopono. And at first, I was just didn't even know if it would work. I wasn't sure of all of this. But I was willing to try anything, like I said, I needed to fix. So I was surprised it worked so powerfully and so fast. Mm-hmm. So I just did what you said, and just as though, was unsure, kept going right through it. So.
It's funny because I don't often really teach people Ho'oponopono the first time they come to me, right? But sometimes when people are stuck or in pain, and I know Ho'oponopono could help, then I'll teach it before I really know somebody. Usually I get to know somebody first, then I say, I have this unusual thing that's really powerful. Do you want to hear about it? So I'm so glad that something in my gut made me teach it to you right away, because I feel like in our work together one-on-one, you've been on this accelerated path. In fact, I don't know how you do this, but somehow in our sessions, you get me to divulge all my best material, right? So you just have this way of I want more, and you ask these questions, and I guess it happened in our first session because I jumped right in to teach you Ho'oponopono. Yeah. And then, I also taught you that coping triangle, which is part of our results-oriented living program in our coaching program. And it's just something I do when anybody has anxiety. It's a quick 3-step to how do you use a coping skill from within that really makes a difference.
Yeah, it tremendously helped.
So when you first started Ho'oponoing, I love that you shared honestly, I wasn't sure this was going to work, but I was willing to give it a try. But when you first started to use Ho'oponopono, what did you notice?
It started to calm me right down. I felt like I was being controlled by my anxiety, so instead I was controlling it every time I Ho'oponoponoed. It was amazing. It was huge. I started to say to myself, this stuff is really working. I said, honestly, I was so surprised. It worked so well and so fast. Felt so, quickly it felt good. So then I took your 3-hour workshop, and I learned the tapping, which I was sitting there and I was like, is this really, I doubted it as well. And I started tapping, and I was amazed when most of my cards they came true. And I would come to you, it was amazing, so fast.
Right. So it does happen, and it's true. Sometimes I feel like people aren't going to believe me that these things for people turn around so quickly. Lots of times in the coaching program, it's 7 days, 14 days, within 3 weeks. And then, like I was sharing earlier in the program, my positive unexpected twist was I'm teaching this group, and then the next thing I know, I'm realizing 99% of people are getting change within less than 30 days. And that's kind of how this whole program kicked off.
Yeah.
So
sure.
Very fast. Yeah. In fact, we have some extra minutes today. So when you were in that 3-hour seminar, was there one particular intention that you set that happened? Would you want to share that story?
Yeah, well, I guess I really had a few. I wanted to help my children. I wanted to share the positiveness with them. I started to wonder if this could even help increase my family's business income, and I thought about how could I do that to help my family. So
so you got clear. You got clear on what you wanted, and then you applied all of that to the tap-in technique, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I know you've been... Go ahead, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's right, go ahead. What were you going to say?
I was going to say it made a difference, the tapping. It's great stuff.
Okay. So I know you use our 3-step Ho'oponopono Express Action Plan, which I said earlier is that, you take the challenge. You took the 30-day challenge, right?
Yeah.
And you marked it on a calendar. And if you missed a day, you went back and started over.
Absolutely.
And I know you're a rule follower, right? And then you tapped, and you allowed me to hold you accountable to having a Ho'oponopono focus and applying the tapping. So do you feel like the tap-in makes a difference, and what's different now? And it's actually 2 different questions. But first of all, do you feel like the tap-in itself made a difference?
Tremendously made a difference. It's just great stuff was happening. When I first came to see with my anxiety, I had not been feeling so great about myself, and everything changed to this complete opposite I felt great every day. I was strong. I felt happy. I even taught this to my son, which is such a great gift. I made a card for our family business, which to increase our income, and within a few weeks, it was significantly changed. It's such a short time. And when, that's the difference, which is tremendous differences. Income and the children being happier and myself feeling amazing, it's a big difference.
So I'm thinking about what a gift it is that you can teach your son and he can be open to it, right? And I think your son is in his teens or early 20s?
Yeah, this is my youngest son, my 14-year-old. And,
he's 14. Okay.
I taught it to him whenever, you have a little doubt or, going into high school. And I said, if whatever it may be, a boy going into a new school and different friends in different situations. And I say, have you Ho'oponopono? And he smiles and he's like, yes, I did. I mean, how great does that feel?
I know. I have 2 daughters, and I've taught them as well. And I think of what a gift it is that, they have this healing, coping, amazing technique to lean on, when they need something, or when they feel bad, or, I think about if I knew in my 20s how to heal, clean, and erase some of my patterns and limiting beliefs, I think it would have made life easier, right?
Absolutely. We wouldn't be at the age we are now feeling the way we do. But you know what? Thankful we have it now because...
Yes. Yeah. But what a gift that we can pass it on to our children and that they can be open enough to receive it.
Absolutely.
So you were sharing that you also decided, something made you think, well, maybe this Ho'oponopono, this is a big reason why I asked you on the show today, is you had a financial change, right?
Sure.
So you thought maybe this Ho'oponopono and tap-in could somehow aid my family business that we have here. So you were willing to tap and you saw an increase, and I'm not going to ask you about the number of the increase, but when you say a short time, what would you say, what's a short time? That it actually went from tapping to the income gradually went up, or it just jumped up high?
It just, all of a sudden, it just starts happening, and you're like, oh my goodness, a little thing, a big thing. And then when it came to the income, I'm like, you know what, I'm going to do this. I said, this has to work. And I would have to say under 30 days, my eyebrows kept lifting, and I was amazed, and it's just amazing. So under 30 days to have something so big happen, it's amazing. It really is.
And then I'm sure that you and I in our course, in our one-on-one contact, actually, we probably talked about appreciating the heck out of it, right? So whenever Ho'oponopono affects you and you have these amazing results happen quickly, you want to move right into appreciation.
So thankful, completely thankful.
So share with us, what was your positive, unexpected twist?
Well, I guess somehow this Ho'oponopono helped all my relationships feel so much closer, from my husband to my children to family and friends, even long-lost friends that I kind of was looking for, thinking about, and it just, in all areas, from the beginning to now, the twist is just the energy, the positive life that I'm leading is just completely amazing.
So fair to say everything feels different.
Oh, everything. I feel like a different person. It's really, truly just amazing to feel amazing every single day.
Wow,
and
I love that.
You have that to fall back on, but it seems like it's there for you and it's just all good. It's just, I don't know, feels so good to be so, in such a great place, truthfully.
In fact, I remember, I think it was, I don't know if it was a one-on-one session or after you did the 3-hour seminar, but I remember you texted me like, oh my gosh, I have a Ho'oponopono story. A friend of mine reconnected with me out of nowhere. And then, I think another friend after that. So then when I saw you, you were excited to tell me it wasn't one friend, but it was 2 people out of nowhere. Just reached out that you were super excited about.
Yeah, and these are all just great things happening constantly that it feels so good. I mean, it's awesome. It just feels so great every day. So.
And I think altogether, we tallied up our sessions. Is it 10, 11, or 12? I forget what the number was. How many times have we actually sat down to discuss where you're at, Ho'oponopono and tapping? I
think we're at a 12-week point, but I definitely feel the first few weeks, it was like a flip.
Right.
Great.
So first 3 weeks, big shift, and then last 8 or 9 weeks have been a lot of fun to learn everything.
Absolutely. We've definitely been having so much fun doing this, and it's nice to turn it around to all these fun, good, healthy things.
Yeah, and then I love that you're on the show today helping other people, right? Because lots of people struggle with anxiety that sometimes can become so severe that it's actually paralyzing, that it affects you not only emotionally, but affects you physically as well.
Physically. Absolutely. Yeah. And there's nothing worse than living like that. And, it's nice now, to be able to feel so good about yourself and your relationships, everything. It's just so great. It's so great to finally feel so good.
So let me ask you, I know you have applied out what we've been talking about today, the 3-step Ho'oponopono Express Action Plan. Take the challenge, do the tap-in, and have a Ho'oponopono daily focus and be supported, right, in the progress. Did you find that you actually needed the help and support to apply the tapping strategy? Talk to us a little bit about that.
You know me. Yes.
I do know you.
You had to check my cards. You had to help me. I had to make sure it was, going the way I wanted it to, the way it's supposed to be. So, yes, I definitely needed your support and your help. And, just there's so many questions that I needed answered, and what, to go about it any other way, it would be, I don't know. I love the support. You need it. It's great,
Yeah, I think it's the reassurance, right? It's the guidance. This is how we do it. And, we actually we kind of have the basic tapping strategy. And then when you get that down, we teach you the advanced strategy. And then there's the Ho'oponopono tapping, but how do we give it the law of attraction twist? So people, they start to feel like, am I doing it right? Is there a better way to say this? And, lots of people like to bring in their cards and be like, would you look at my card? So I think you told me one time you have you said, I love my cards. Right?
I love my cards. And if I didn't have you, I think I would have definitely gotten stuck. But I do. I love my cards. I hold them dear. And because of you helping me constantly, it's definitely, I would have been stuck without the help. Absolutely.
So from anxiety, from paralyzing anxiety to loving your cards. I love it.
Yeah.
We call that radical change here.
Tremendous.
So we have a few minutes left for the show. I do like to ask all my guests, what advice, right, having gone through everything that you're talking about today, and Ho'oponopono has helped you with yourself, your children, your family business, what advice do you have for our listeners today when it comes to Ho'oponopono and tapping?
I absolutely think that everybody has to give it a shot. You know, with a little bit of doubt, a little bit of hesitation, you know what? You're worth it. I think that I'm going to say that you should have no doubt. It's proven to me that doubt was ridiculous, but absolutely you have to go through this program. I feel like it has just completely changed my world. I feel like it has just brought out me. You know, not being a mom, a daughter, a wife, Suzanne, and I am now happier and pleased to take care of everybody because my days are great, and I really do believe that you have to do it wholeheartedly. It's worth it. There's no other, that's my one and only advice is to just try it.
In fact, I remember, I know that you were so happy, like didn't one of your friends come to you and say, okay, what are you doing? Right? Like your friends started to notice a change in you.
Numerous friends. They're like, what are you doing? And I would just laugh and say, oh, I'll let you know. I'll let you know. Give you a few minutes to explain. And they're looking at me, and even at work, people are like, what are you doing? Like, how was your summer? I'm like, oh, I had a great summer. And they're like, what'd you do? I'm like, nothing. I said, I just feel so good. They're like, there's a sparkle. I said, thank you. I said, it's just like a pep in your step. You feel so good. And people that don't know what I was doing, I was private about it, were asking me, did you change something? Did you do something? I said, no, not a thing. Here I am. But you know what? Here I am now. I feel like I'm me. I'm like a different person. I could feel it just walking through a store, getting in the car to do an errand. Feels really good. So would you tell them, like, I found this thing called Ho'oponopono? Did you say I'm working one-on-one with a Dr. Mary? Like, do they let you just walk away with no explanation? Well, like, when the time is there, I start explaining, and they just look at me. One woman's eyes were filling up. She was, like, so overwhelmed with how the change has been for me. And she's like, I love it. And another woman's like, what are you doing? Can I do it too? And I said, yes, you have to meet Dr. Mary. So a few of my friends have sent over, and I'm sure they're going to get the same results. Right. Well, thank you. Thank you for that confidence. I do love helping people profoundly as quickly as possible. That's like a joy for me. And I think one of my favorite lines that you always say, you often say, it's amazing to feel amazing. And when I think about from paralyzed and anxiety to it's amazing to feel amazing, I mean, I just, my heart kind of skips a beat because I was able to help you in that journey. Yes. So I want to thank you for your yes today, and thank you for your yes to yourself, your transformation, and for sharing your results with us today. I'm so happy for you. I'm happy for your radical change, your family, and your business. And I'm so happy that you feel amazing every day. Well, really, Dr. Mary, I have to thank you. I'm forever grateful for finding you. You've taught me all about Ho'oponopono and the law of attraction. You've just really helped me be me, and I really am so thankful for feeling so great, and it's all really because of you. So really, thank you so much. Well, it's been my pleasure, and I'm glad you could have that transformation. And thank you. Thank you for trusting in me. So before we end our show today, I just want to tell you a few things. It turns out on October 7th on Long Island, we're going to be having our first big Hotel Ho'oponopono event. So if you're local to Long Island and you want to come join us in Ronkonkoma, we're going to have a healing day of Ho'oponopono, and it's going to be experiential. So, of course, you could call Sam at 1-833-447-CHANGE if you have any questions about that. Don't forget to check out our Radical Change coaching program. You can find it at the Voice America host page, or you can find it at radicalchangenow.com. There's plenty of places. Don't forget about your free Ho'oponopono strategy session, should you choose. And don't forget, especially, to join us next week as we wrap up our Ho'oponopono series. And we have a single mom, Chrissy. She's going to come and she's going to share how Ho'oponopono helped her survive a devastating loss, which is the loss of her teenage daughter. Very powerful sharing, very powerful show. We're also going to be joined by a young
a young woman, Stephanie, age 22. She's going to talk about how she was protected from an unwanted experience due to the help of Ho'oponopono. So come join myself, Coach Stephanie, and Chrissy as we continue discussing these powerful Ho'oponopono stories about radical change and how you too can get the same radical change in your life. See you guys next week.
Thank you for tuning in this week for Radical Change Now. Be sure to join Dr. Mary Oz again next Wednesday at 10 a.m. Pacific Time and 1 p.m. Eastern Time on the Voice America Empowerment Channel. Until then, have the best week of your life.